the teachers who have been honored for their contribution in the field of education, my dear teachers and parents. Today we have gathered here to celebrate Teachers' Day. What it means to be a teacher, to understand, I always have that in my heart. When I became a teacher in 1973, one of the politicians, if I'm not mistaken, that time, he said, you know, a teacher, poet Kabir once was asked, if you see in front of you God and teacher, whom you will bow down first? He thought for a while and then he said, I will bow first to the teacher and then to God. So everyone was surprised. Why? Because it is through the teacher, or the teacher will lead me to God. How big is our responsibility? I remember I became accidental teacher. I never dreamt to be a teacher. I never studied to be a teacher. I always dreamt to go abroad. Fortunately, my mother was not giving me the permission to go abroad. Over a year, I wasted my time at home. And then, in desperation, my mother went and spoke to my parish priest. I am from Majorda. Spoke to my parish priest that time for the Basil Andraj. And he told him, I don't know what to do. He wants to go abroad. Because I had my cousin in California who was a professor and he wanted me to come over there. And I wanted to continue with my studies. But she, I being only son, I have 5 sisters, and then she was not happy that I should leave, go. So she went and told him. Then he called me and he said, just yesterday, my teacher, science teacher, has resigned. And I want someone to substitute. Since you have done science, why don't you take up? That time was 10th and 11th standard. And I could not say no to him because we used to get frightened of him. This Father Basil Andrad, wherever he worked, he opened schools. He started his career as a priest in Lolien. He started St. Sebastian's. He went to Sampradaya, he started Guardian Angel. He came to Majorda, he started St. Anthony's. So he told me, you join tomorrow in St. Anthony's to teach science in the 10th and 11th standard. And it was in the month of September. And then he tells me, you work till April. And then, if you are not happy, I will convince your mother to send you to America. So when the time came in, as I joined, I started enjoying. In April, somewhere in March, I went and met him and I said, Father, I think I have inclination to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. And then these are the words which I continuously remember because his statue is in my heart. He said, Oscar, it is not because I had a vacancy and I forced you to be a teacher. It was a God's call. God has chosen you to carry on with this work. God has chosen. Every time when he is to meet the teachers, he is to use the same words. It is not because of your qualifications that you have become a teacher. You have become a teacher because God has chosen you to carry on with His work. So all of you teachers, you must understand how big is our responsibility. Because God has chosen us to carry on with His work. Congratulations. But when it comes 5th September, we are waiting for children to come and wish us. We are waiting. We know what the children are so excited. They will come with flowers, bouquets, and cards, written beautiful words. But that's not enough. I remember once, one Teacher's Day, he told us, please, tomorrow is a Teacher's Day. When you get up in the morning, reflect. Are you the teacher which God has chosen you to do the work? Have you done the job? So when it comes to Teacher's Day, also is a day for us to reflect. What I have done? Have I done the job for which I have been appointed? Or just the book? My time is 8 o'clock and go back at 1:30. Did I work for time or did I work for my students? Did I only teach the subject or I did much more than that? Children need us. Many times it is said the teachers hear what the other teachers talk about the students in the staff room, and that image is created when you enter in the class. If a child is naughty, we look at the child as naughty because someone else has told us that's naughty. And we keep that in mind, and every time when we look at that child, we look at that child in the eyes what the others have expressed. Many times we don't understand the problem that children carry from home. I have so many incidences where the fathers being drunkards, beating the wives and burning the books of the children when they went to protect. And next day when the children came without homework, the teachers kept them out. Because teachers had no idea the problem the children were facing through it. Beautiful example. Two brothers. One brother, father was a drunkard, burned the books and all that. Every time when he went next day to the school, teacher punished him, kept out of the class. By the other brother, the teacher, every time the boy came without doing homework, the teacher asked him, did you have a problem yesterday at home? Did your father create problems at home? Did he burn the books? You don't have the books. She used to buy the books for the child. While the other teacher used to punish and keep the child out. Now this boy was a dropout. And then later he became a drunkard. While the other boy became a very good citizen, got married, took care of the wife and the children very well, just opposite to his father. A social activist asked the boy who was drunkard, who was creating problems at home to his wife, you have two brothers, how's that you have become a drunkard? He said, what could I learn from my father? Every time when my father used to beat us, my teacher used to punish me and put me out of the class. What else you expected me? While the other boy, when they asked him, he says, I had a considerate teacher. She knew my problem at home. If my books were burned, she would help me to get new books. I owe what I have today, if I'm sincere, honest, I owe to that teacher. Beautiful. There was another very interesting story, and this happened many times. One boy robbed a watch from the other student. And then the student came and told the teacher, teacher, someone robbed my watch. I don't have the watch. Someone took my watch. So the teacher said, okay, all of you stand up with your bags and close your eyes. If anyone closes their eye, opens their eye, I will look at you as a robber. So everyone closed their eyes. The teacher went from back to back And after finishing the last bag, he came back in front and told the children, I have found your watch. Now you open your eyes. That boy who robbed the watch was waiting for the teacher to say who had done it. But teacher didn't mention the name of the student. And that student changed his life to be more honest and sincere. And one day, after being a successful man, for that incident, teacher protecting him, because if teacher had mentioned so the boy has robbed, he would have been looked and he would have carried the stigma in his life as a robber. He met a teacher in a restaurant and he went and met him. Sir, you changed my life. Today I have been successful because you protected and saved me. He says, boy, I don't know. Who are you? Can you explain me? Then he explained the whole story. You know what did teacher tell him? My dear boy, all of you had closed eyes, even myself. Because I didn't want to look at you as different compared to the others. These examples helps us to understand what it means to be a teacher. Now, coming to the point, how that I am here. I taught for 30 years and then I said that's enough. I took voluntary retirement and I started a supermarket. And as Gilroy and others were sharing, new idea comes in, others are not ready to support you. My friends, my colleagues and even at home, my wife and my mother, my sisters, business is not for you. It's not. You will never succeed. My friends used to say, you have too much money, so you want to waste money. In the village, near my house, it will never work. I started thinking. I went to the supermarkets, which were there. No one was giving any advice. I bought a book on Walmart, just to have an idea. And then he writes there that when the concept of supermarket came to him, he was sharing with his friends. And everyone said, it will never work, it will never work. It went on for a year. And suddenly one night, he got sort of a vision and he said, all experience is here, not with those people. And he says, I went ahead and I started. And I realized by listening to them, I wasted a year of my profits. So that made me believe that whoever was telling me it will not work, they didn't have the experience. The experience was with me. And I started. Thank God, it clicked. And my son today took it over and it made it into a landmark. I don't know how many of you have heard Oscars Junction in Majorca. It became a landmark. Everyone talks about it. And when I started supermarket, interesting, when I started supermarket, I wanted to introduce also reading books. I spent about a lakh of rupees only buying different types of books. And I was requesting when the parents used to come with the children, I used to tell them, buy books. But parents prefer to buy Lays and Kurkure. This is the situation today. This is the situation today. We don't encourage our children to read. We provide them everything from down. Beautiful clothes, go eat as much, but nothing wherein they can develop the brain for better things. It is unfortunate. When I joined Sharda Mandir, suddenly one parent came and told me, sir, You have to do something to encourage children to answer UPSC exams. First time I heard, after 30 years being 10 years as a teacher, 20 years as a headmaster, suddenly it came to my mind, UPSC. I myself was confused. Never ever I spoke to my students about UPSC. Honest to share with you. And do you know, after liberation till date, I mean, I would say, I don't know, someone told me there's one child who is passed UPSC, I don't know. But till date, only one IAS officer who studied in our schools and colleges in Goa has become an IAS officer. Ashutosh Pendekar. He is now occupying high position in Rajasthan, Keynote. Only one. Because neither parents nor teachers ever spoke to our children about UPSC. Answering the exams. I started doing this. My foundation has taken this as a project. I have tied up with Abhyankar IAS Academy in Pune. I invite him. I have a magazine. My foundation publishes a magazine, Education Challenge Goa. And one issue was dedicated entirely for UPSC. You won't believe, every college in Goa, I provided free UPSC magazine. In the first year, when I started, we completed 5 years. This is my 6th year, which is going on. Why did I start with this magazine? One, my professor from B.Ed College, when I went to visit her, I said, ma'am, something has to be done about, because UPSC and all. Oscar, why are you wasting your time? Which teacher reads? Which teacher writes? I was shocked. I said, teacher read or don't write. At least let me take the initiative and start publishing a magazine, first magazine of education, dealing with education in Goa. We have a lot of magazines coming from out of Goa. I don't know how many of you are aware of this magazine. It goes to the schools. You know, first year, my first issue, I went every school, every college, every higher secondary and gave them free magazine. Second issue, I went again. Some of the magazines are still in the cupboard of the headmasters. It has never gone even to the library. Some said it is in the library, but no one knows what has happened in the library. How many did? But this goes on. My magazine is subscribed in the colleges and the schools, but I don't know how many read. My main purpose is I want teachers to write. Because we have a lot of ideas, a lot of experience which you could share. Now, this is the last issue which I brought out about environment, destruction of environment in Goa. You know, today the greed has come in education, has made us so greedy, we are forgetting what we are going to provide after our generation next. Nothing is going to be taught. You could look at this, raise mangoes, 10 years back, greenery, and now if you look, it is all brown. Construction is going to come over there. Previous, I brought out also issue on inclusive education. Because today it has been proved, more than 10% of our students in every class, they are special need children. And it is important for the teachers to understand. It is a time that the government recognizes and appoints a special educator in every school. Goes on. Now, this is regarding this. How I came in contact with Dr. Celso. It's unfortunate that I came to know him very late. I wish I had met him before COVID. At least I think if I had invested before COVID, I would have been much more better off now compared to. I interviewed, in Sharda Mandir, I strongly believe, since we run an institution, I know the efforts put in by the elementary teachers. And we pay them 7-pay salaries, not like any other schools in Goa. Elementary teachers are not paid as per the scale. But in Sharda Mandir, Miramar, we pay them as per the scale. I was interviewing one teacher, I selected one teacher, and I asked her, what salary do you expect? First time in my life, that girl tells me, sir, I'm not going to work for salary. What do you mean you're not going to work for salary? Then how you are going to live? I have got my own portfolio. First time I heard portfolio for me is like a biodata. So she said, what do you mean by portfolio? My parents have invested earlier and I get regular income from that investment. First time, and I said, who is helping you? Then I said, Dr. so. That's how I met this man. I call him Good Samaritan. I think all of you have to salute this man. Yes. Selfless service that he does. It's not only financial, now also he's taking care of diabetic patients. Excellent. Now, what I'm saying is, I immediately invited him. I said, please talk to my teachers. Let them understand. Let's talk to the students. And I felt he is a savior for all our Goan youth. And we have to support him. You don't need today Goan, everyone wants to go abroad. You ask my students, they are doing excellently well. What they say, sir, after my 12th, I'm going to America for my higher studies. Others saying I'm going to England, higher studies. They go to America, they will never come back. They go to England, they will never come back. This is their attitude today. And the others, who are not with the high studies, they make Portuguese passport and they go to England. And we encourage them. If we educate our children in financial literacy at young, I think we can save our youth and we can save Goa. This is what I would request. How many of you are parents here? Only parents, not teachers. Very few. Okay, teachers also are parents. But I would say, parents, we have dreams for our children. We have dreams. I have seen now nearly 50 years I'm in this field of education. 20 years I'm in Sharda Mandir now. What do we have? Today, if you look, it's only the mothers who are taking care of the children's education. You go to the school, when we invite the parents to come to the school, it is the mothers who come, fathers don't come. Fathers think they are earning for the welfare of their children. It's the responsibility of the mothers. It's not right. I remember when I was young, Majorda didn't have tar road. It was red, bullock carts and other. You see that in the middle, rough, there was like smooth line and then again rough. My father taught me to ride cycle. I remember his words. I always, and I tell this to the teachers and I tell this to the parents. He always told me, look forward, don't look close, look forward. Always look forward. I'm holding behind. Look forward. Don't look right and left. If you look right and left, you will go on side and you will fall down. I started believing, I started looking forward. I am behind. He was holding my cycle. I am behind. I believed and I started looking forward, not looking right and left, and I knew my father was behind. My father was behind. That's the belief I had, which made me to go forward. And I became expert in cycling. Not 15 kilometers, but expert, because that time cycle was something you knew. And even to attract girls, you had to go without holding the hand, go like this and cycle it. But I give credit to my father. Look forward. And throughout my life, I always look forward and do look right and left. And always in the village. I lost my father many years back. Even today, I believe that he is back. Even today, I believe my father is at the back, telling me, don't worry, look forward, go forward. I'm 77 years old. But believe in my father, because that's what he has given. So my request to the parents, let your children believe that you are there behind. Even this investment, I started doing now investment for my grandchildren. Not because I have money. I said, let me do something so that when they reach 18 years, they can take decisions. I mean, there should not be a burden on my children to see when they want to go for higher education. If they want to go for higher education, they should be able to have something of their own to carry forward. In Gujarat, it's like that. In Gujarat schools, financial literacy is a subject which is included in the syllabus. Children by 12th standard, they know that they have some money. They have some money, and whether they would like to continue or start entrepreneurship. Another thing that we have failed, my dear teachers, when I say we, including myself, we have not taught our children the dignity of labor. We have failed miserably. And that's why today everyone is going abroad. I met one of my students at Heathrow Airport when I had gone to London. And I was wondering, huge airport, what I'm going to do. My cousin had told me that at the basement you have the railway station, take the train and go to, come to London Central. Suddenly someone said, so Oscar. I looked at him and I recognized, I felt relieved. He came, I hugged him, because I have the habit of hugging my children. I hugged him and I said, hi Peter, nice to see you over here. I'm so relieved to have you. And he was with that mop and sort of a group. And then I understood. But he never felt shy. And then he was forcing me to have a cup of tea. I said, I knew how much money it costs at the airport. I said, then I said, my wife said, let's have tea. I said, I'll pay. No, sir, I will pay. Give me that honor. And then I asked him, Peter, you would have done this at the W airport. First question of his is, sir, if you had seen me in W airport, would you hug me? I said, yes. Yeah, you could, because you have a habit of hugging us every day. Okay. But not only that, if my neighbor had seen doing that work, my whole village would have come to know that I'm doing that. Why he is saying that? Because we have never encouraged dignity of labor. And that's the downfall of our progress. We are not ready to do anything. Few days back, maybe a month back, nice story about a girl in Aldona, Salgonkar. She did her MBA. She studied in Goa, did MBA, worked abroad. Her mother had a vegetable stall. I don't know how many of you have heard it. Had a vegetable stall. Now she gave up that job abroad and came back and started doing entrepreneurship, taking up her mother's vegetable stall. Now she has added flowers also, and there is a demand. All the people come around her because people also appreciate it. The initiative that she has taken after so much studies, she has come to do this work. Entrepreneurship. We have to encourage, if you want to encourage entrepreneurship, first thing that you have to encourage is dignity of living. Without speak. I have seen, I was one day, earlier during Portuguese time, fisher folks used to carry the baskets. The Goan fisher folks used to carry the basket on the head to the fish market. Today those fisher folks are not going. The Karbar fisher folks are carrying the basket and they are walking with all the gold below. Wrong values. We have given wrong values to our children. We have to change it. So, Dr. Celso, I appreciate your good work. You are a blessing to us to grow up, and you continue with your work. You are also very supportive for my magazine. One issue was only about financial literacy. We brought out only financial literacy about keep it up. And you teachers who have been honored, 36 years, 33 years is not little. You are a star. Thousands of your children are shining in the world. Congratulations. And because you have retired, don't give up. Continue. Continue, because a teacher is a teacher for life. Take little things, do initiatives, help poor, or encourage someone or the other to help the poor children. They need help. Continue doing your good work. And you teachers, always remember God has chosen you to be teachers. And parents, all of us are parents. Pope John Paul II, always while addressing parents, has said it. They are your children, but not yours. It belongs to God. God has chosen your family to take care of His children. So, they are born with talents. We have seen, as Gilroy has mentioned to you, Mr. Bas has shown, and the facilities which EDC provides, John has explained, we can do wonders to our children. Thank you very much.
Thank you.